In the headlines, Mao fishermen make significant contribution to local economy in terms of annual fish sales. Two families grappling with loss of loved ones coming out of the holiday weekend, and Golden Drum awardees commended for their role in shaping Dominican culture. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. We begin with the death of a 44-year-old Wendy Thomas of Foncolé, one of two fatalities over the holiday weekend. Thomas was swept away by waves in Boetica. Police PRO Inspector Pelham John Baptist has more.
It was reported to the police that about 1:30 p.m. on Monday, the 1st of August 2016, a group of 8 were at Glassy Point when a number of individuals were swept away by the waves. All but one made it back to the shore. The lifeless body of Wendy Thomas, female adult of Glasgow in Foncolé, was fished out of the sea about 200 feet away from the shoreline by the Marine Unit. Wendy Thomas was examined and officially pronounced dead at the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital by a medical doctor. April Philogene, female adult of Foncolé, who sustained injuries during the incident, was treated at the Laplin Health Center and referred to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital, where she was examined, treated, and discharged.
Meanwhile, former auto trade employee Kessler Hodge succumbed to a motorcycle accident. The accident occurred between late Sunday and early Monday morning in Taru. In other police news, Jamaican national Ralph James, along with Jeffrey Stapleton and Alwyn Lawrence of St. Vincent, were jointly charged with possession and possession with intent to supply 419 pounds of cannabis weed. The 3 men were intercepted in Scott's Head during an operation by the Dominica Coast Guard. They were later remanded at the Stock Farm prison. Also, 3 more men stood before the courts facing charges of possession of illicit substances. Trevor Rodney of Tatan, Jerome Lavassier of Portsmouth, and Venezuelan Simon Martinez were all charged with possession and possession with intent to supply what's alleged to be cocaine on Friday. The following day, a similar search conducted in Portsmouth and Tatan revealed 1 kilogram of alleged cocaine, 3 live rounds of 14-gauge ammunition, and 42 live rounds of 0.22 ammunition. Rodney was charged with possession of a firearm and live ammunition without a license. In other lead stories, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries is focused on the continuous professional development of Dominica's fishermen.
The issue was highlighted in an address by the Minister for Agriculture during the village feast in Maho over the holiday weekend. Maho is among the more productive fish landing sites in Dominica, with over 30 fishing boats in operation.
We want to ensure that the skills of our fishers are strengthened and that more social and economic benefits are harnessed by improving opportunities for employment and income generation.
Maho fishermen harvest, on average, 98 tons of fish, 215,000 pounds, contributing $1.5 million annually.
This year, Dominica has exported over 50,000 pounds of fish, bringing in more than $500,000 in revenue for our fishing sector. This is a record, and as your minister, I am proud for this achievement in the fishery sector. Fish export market potential is at its highest. There is a high demand for our fish. Best quality will ensure best prices. Proper storage will ensure that we increase our regional and international markets.
Meantime, the Parliament Representative Rayburn Blackmore is challenging fisherfolk in that community to give some of their catch to the various institutions such as the church and the hospital.
Those things are important. Those are these things that define us as a people. A couple weeks ago, we made a contribution to young fisher folks, young fishermen, who submitted the proposal. Some said that they had a boat and simply missing the motor, and some said they didn't have a motor or a boat. So I hope because some of them are now building the boats, haven't gotten the motors. We're doing all that. But the community must benefit. And then if you are benefited from an outboard motor and you are benefited from a boat, why not give back to the hospital? Why not give back to the senior citizens home in my home? Why not give back to the church?
On to health now. An allocation of $1.5 million is being made to this financial year towards the construction of the Marigot Hospital.
Several $100,000 have already been set aside for the designs of the new facility. It will serve not only Marigot and surrounding communities, but could be critical in terms of saving lives in the event of an emergency at Douglas Charles Airport. The Minister for Health told Channel 5 News last week that according to the party's manifesto, it's always been Labour's intention to build a hospital in Marigot. He says while there have been delays and the PR on the progress of this venture could have been better executed, that project will go ahead.
That being said, I mean, we've had for the past year or so an amount allocated towards the design and implementation of the new Marigot Hospital. Another $1.2 million is allocated, and again, we are still in discussion as whether we should invest in rehabilitating. For example, I think there have been talk of the Marigot Foundation High School or the junior secondary school, whether we should invest $1.2 million in rehabilitating something that maybe is not going to be used for the hospital in the next year or two when the new hospital is built, you know. And I think that the discussion needs to continue as it pertains a bit to the Marigot people and the PAL rep. I mean, I'm not sure honestly what a lot of all of this showmanship was all about. I think that a simple phone call or letter to have a meeting with the Minister of Health and his staff, I think could have resulted, I think, you know, in amicable discussions and solutions to let him know this is the plan. What you think, you know, that whether they could well, not suffer, whether they could continue this small inconvenience of having to go to Wesley for, you know, for emergency services and continue the health center at Marigot and all of this. But as I said, we're getting the estimates from our public works counterpart as it pertains to the rehabilitation of one of these high schools, which I spoke about, unused high school buildings, to see whether we could convert it into an A&E and a hospital temporary until such time as in the Marigot Hospital. But we are committed, as I said, into building the Marigot Hospital, and an additional $300,000 have been budgeted in this financial year towards the plans, design and plans of it. Yeah.
An action plan was devised for a new hospital following an emergency meeting by the Ministry of Health in June. The urgent reconstruction of the hospital was recommended to government because of mold infestation. The infestation was originally reported to health authorities in May.
Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Culture, Mandra Fagan, thanked this year's Golden Drum awardees for shaping Dominican culture as we know it.
She told 5 recipients of the prestigious award on Saturday that their contributions would continue to influence local traditions for years to come.
You have been standard bearers of culture over many years, and it is fitting that you are recognized in this way. This is certainly not the end of the road for you. I am confident that you will continue to contribute to the development of our culture and sharing your experience, skills, and talents with others, especially the younger generation. You have contributed to making Dominica a cultural power that is second to none in the OECS group of countries.
Levi Super L. Loblack was awarded for his contribution to music. Miranda Langley of the Carifona Cultural Group for preservation and promotion of indigenous culture. Stephen Drago for preservation and promotion of traditional music. Pearl Christian for excellence in music education and the promotion of choral music, and Regina Walsh for promotion of pageantry. Other cultural contributors were given special awards such as Carlton Henry for promotion of traditional culture and pageantry, New Music Zone's Craig Bellott, Ivan George for development and promotion of traditional dance, Hilroy Fingal for excellence in art, the Performing Arts Workshop and the St. Alphonsus Junior Choir for their contributions to their respective fields.
Coming up, Tasia Flosak wraps up regional competition. Thanks for staying with us. Dominica's Carnival Queen has completed her round of regional pageants for 2016. The final competition for the year was the Miss Caribbean Culture hosted in Nevis on Monday. At that show, Miss Dominica 2016 Tasia Flosak placed first runner-up, copying the awards for Best Interview and Miss Photogenic. Second runner-up position went to Antigua, while St. Kitts won the pageant and took the award for Best Talent, Best Evening Wear, and Best Promotional Video. The Miss Caribbean Culture pageant followed a pre-show 2 days earlier where the 12 participants modeled in a variety of swimsuits. Miss St. Kitts got the awards for Best All-White Swimwear, Best One-Piece Swimwear, and Best Two-Piece Swimwear. In other news, following a tropical wave-affected weekend, compounded with numerous competing activities, organizers of the Rabbit Festival say there are no immediate plans to change the date of the annual event.
This year, the Rabbit Festival took on a 3-day format to accommodate fewer commuters over an extended period due to concern raised over the condition of the roads. Overall, the attendance at the Rabbit Festival was commendable despite the inclement weather, and the organizing committee is resolute that the Rabbit Festival will remain on August Monday weekend.
I can remember a couple of years ago we changed the date for the Rabbit Festival. We had brought it earlier towards Easter, and we had more rain in the time of Easter than we have in the time of August and so forth. So we had to go back to our normal routine, August and so forth. I mean, sometimes that do happen. With the weather, it didn't really hinder us too much. We make up our mind. We have made our mind as a team, as your organizer, to go ahead with the Rabbit Festival 2016. On the Friday night, we did very well. In spite of the weather, we had a little rain, but later down in the night, the rain held up. And on Saturday, the weather was so bad that we as a team, we came together and decided to put up the Rabbit Festival. But maybe later down in the day, we saw that the weather was clearing out, and we decided we're going ahead.
Piper says an early post-mortem shows that there are several features from this year's event to be incorporated into next year's event, and areas for improvement are also on the cards.
When we see the activity, how it went, and we listen to the voice of the people, they said it was a good thing to have it for the weekend. And we're looking forward to continue that activities throughout the weekend. But we're looking forward because I believe next year is going to be bigger. And I believe maybe by the school area might be a bit too small. So we're looking into it to build proper sheds, and we're looking also to build toilet facilities in the playing field. And once that's organized, we may have it at the playing field.
An award ceremony was also carded for the weekend but did not come through.
And the head of marketing and product management at NBD, Lillian Piper, is giving 2 thumbs up to the institution's mortgage promotion held earlier this year.
Piper spoke at a prize-giving ceremony Tuesday, awarding 6 lucky winners. She noted that the response from the public was an indication of great interest in making wise financial home building decisions.
The public's response was resounding. 97 people attended the event and gave it rave reviews. We were satisfied, very satisfied with the responses. It shows that there is a need in our communities for education on financial and related matters, and your bank, NBD, is at the forefront of fulfilling that need. That is why we have been working hard to expand our financial education program.
The first step in building your house is to talk to your bankers. Yes, even before you buy the land. The size of house that you can afford is heavily influenced by the cost and location of the land which you plan to build on. If you already have your land, however, you also need to visit your banker even before you talk to your draftsman or architect to draw your plans. That way, he or she will design a house that is within your budget.
Quentin and Lenisha Gregoire, along with Kerry Charles, Sharon Foy, McNamara Joseph, and Brian Joseph, were awarded $1,000 vouchers each toward furniture and appliances. A grand prize winner, Charlton Bruni, received $5,000 toward building a dream room.
That's news. Your sports highlights next. First up, the sport of boxing got much-needed exposure as a massive crowd at the Massac Court spoke volumes of the nation's commitment to assist the 2016 extravaganza on Saturday. Organizer of the charity event, Job Joseph, says it was successful.
The support was great, and every cent we pick up, it will go to their corridor. I want to thank the Dominica public very much. I've never seen a crowd like that in boxing ever in Dominica for a long, long time. Honestly, tonight, not Dominica Senator was but tonight boxing won. Boxing won. The crowd was really crazy. The crowd was big, massive, massive, massive crowd. I'm sad in a way because I went down 2-1. Senator won 2, we won 1. The local fights, I had a real good local fight. The second local fight to me, that was one of the best fights for the night. But we couldn't have given him the best fighter because it was local. We had to give it to an overseas fight, which is Dominica or St. Lucia, Dominica and St. Kitts. And I think the guy from St. Lucia, he's top one of our best fighters, so I think he deserves the fight of the tournament.
Meantime, winner of the first match, Dionel Nunez, says he was happy about his debut match.
I was really a little nervous when I start, but when the bell ring, I say, yeah, that's it, man. Don't afraid, I go. When I fall down, I pick up again, and my hands was feeling a little, yeah, so I continue, I say, it's my first match and I want to win. Yeah, I want to show my mother that I can box.
Delroy John Charles bested his Antiguan counterpart and says he had to win on home turf.
Well, it feels good. I can say I did not let down my country, you know. I come to fight and I win in my country, so I'm feeling good. If I didn't win in my country, then that'll just be a shame to me. But now I can say I win. What caused me to win was the constant pushing of my coach. He always pushing us. He always telling us to jab. Use your jab. The jab is the strongest punch. Use your jab to end your match and use your jab to start your match. Always telling me I have the strongest jab in the world. So I'm making use of it.
Meanwhile, spectators were thrilled to see Joachim Isaac as he stood his ground in the ring.
Glad I got some support from the crowd because it gave me a little more emotional ease. But I guess you'd see like a guy my size fighting someone his size, it would be like a downhill battle. But I started boxing at around 355 pounds and now I'm about 220. As a short guy, you always have to go for the body and then search for the top of the head. People think boxing is just hitting headshots and knockout, but knockout very hard to get.
And the highlight of the night was the match between 4-second knockout champ Charles Leatham and his Kittitian boxing counterpart.
I expected a W. I trained for a W. Every moment I got up early morning, 4:30, I thought I was losing. But that courage to keep on fighting, keep on training hard to make sure I made a victory tonight, that was just my goal. I couldn't stop that. Everybody looked forward to me. Everybody I know, they came out to support me and they always tell me, one thing my boys told me, if I lose, don't even watch them again. And I made that a point and statement. I'm not going to lose. I end up in the ring and all I thought was just winning. Everybody came out to see Saturday night fight. Even Ma want to cancel their feast just to see me fight tonight. I'm proud.
On to football now. Club Louvier have booked their spot in the semi-final round of the Zone A of the 2016 Fast Cash Harlem Football League with a 3-0 win over St. Mary's Corp Delta United on Sunday. Randolph Peltier netted twice for Louvier with Dylan Carlisle scoring 1. Meanwhile, defending champions Aeropost Dutch United have secured the top spot in Zone B, beating Digicel Newtown Juvenile Football Academy 4-2 on Sunday. Donan Gervier, Elmond Derrick, Marcellus Raffol, Chris McIntyre got 1 each for Dutch United. Kevin Williams was the lone goal scorer for Digicel Newtown Juvenile Football Academy. So the 2 qualifiers of Zone B are Airpost Dutch United and Malta India Icons. On to regional sports now. Dominica put up their best fight in the 2016 CBN Winlot Games but finished in 3rd place overall. The national team came first in the women's volleyball, 2nd in male and female basketball, 3rd in track and field, and claimed the cellar position in football, netball, and men's volleyball. Grenada came first overall with 35 points, followed by St. Lucia with 31. Dominica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines tied in 3rd place with 23 points. Moving on to basketball, where all biases will be laid aside when the long-anticipated 2016 Flow DABA playoffs gets underway at the Massac Court on Wednesday. It all comes down to the team with the most points at the end of the final games in the Premier and First Division. Fashion Lane Falcons, Fast Cash Prowlers, Detroit Blazers, Paybush Eagles, and the E.H. Charles crossover will play in the best-of-3 finals in the Premier Division. Meantime, in the First Division, Intellico Security Raiders, LA Knights, United Insurance Sharks, Police Sports Club, Tigers, Paybush Snipers, Kelvodaro Hurricanes, and Cary FM Old School will battle it out to the final. The first game is set for 7 p.m. That's all the sports highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Be sure to join us next time. Your weather forecast is next.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am your presenter, Annie Corrett Joseph. The fifth named storm for the 2016 Atlantic hurricane season formed over the Western Caribbean Sea during today. Tropical storm Earl is currently moving towards the west, towards the Belize and the Yucatan Peninsula. Coming closer home to Dominica, the Atlantic high-pressure system was the dominant feature today, and this resulted in partly cloudy to cloudy skies. Some hazy conditions were also observed. Visible satellite images showed mostly low-level clouds over Dominica throughout the course of the day. Radar imagery indicated few scattered showers across the Lesser Antilles. Conditions for tonight, fair to partly cloudy with brief showers. Some hazy conditions is also expected. Tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers. Sea conditions, moderate in open water with waves up to 7 feet. Taking a look at the extended forecast, again tomorrow Wednesday, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers. On Thursday, a tropical wave will move across the area, resulting in increasingly cloudy skies with scattered showers and possible thunderstorm activity. On Friday, mostly cloudy skies with some scattered showers. And across the region tomorrow, the Atlantic high-pressure system will result in partly cloudy to cloudy skies across the northern and central portions of the island chain. Meanwhile, some possible thunderstorm activity can be expected over the extreme southern portion. On the international scene, clear skies in New York and Beijing, some thunderstorm in Miami and Caracas, partly cloudy skies with some showers in London. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:48 a.m. and set at 6:35 p.m. For up-to-date information, log on to our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and join us next time. Good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. Maho fishermen make significant contribution to local economy in terms of annual fish sales. 2 families grappling with loss of loved ones coming out of holiday weekend, and Golden Drum awardees commended for their role in shaping Dominican culture. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNewsAugust2nd2k16. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Kenny Williams. To our viewers around the world, thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.